So here on the short term, just from the changeover of day, which is right here, coming into now about 5 o'clock this morning, New York time, look at how the 50 and the 200 EMAs are coming up towards that 800 and the TDI is in the buy zone. So both of those things, the buy zone TDI and the EMAs on the short term coming up, tells me that the 800 EMA is profit target number one. Then what I do is I'd go to the higher time frames and say, well, where's the bias here? Well, TDI on the 1 hour is rising and in the buy zone. Short-term EMAs are headed up towards that 200 EMA here, which is the same thing on the 15 minute as the 800. So that makes sense. So this looks good for a little bit of push here as well. 4 hour, that's pretty low in the sell zone you see on the TDI. EMAs overall are in a downtrend. We're getting close to that 50. So that's not so long biased. And then on the daily, same thing, not so long biased here. But the short term, the 15 minute, the 1 hour, they're telling us that we could definitely get some push, at least from where we are right now, up to the 800 EMA, which is still another 26 pips. And right now, I'm already up 26. So if we can get to that 800, I'm late on my entry, so I size down a little bit. I'm not hitting it like an A setup. But if we can get to the 800, I'm going to get over 2R on this trade at least. If we break the 800, you can see I have 100 pips marked here. The average daily range on this pair right now is massive, 419. So if it wants to move what it does over the last 5 days on an average day, it's got 285 pips to go from my entry. So I'm not going to try to say this is doing that because we do have the trend overall not being long in every time frame, but I am going to hold the trade candle by candle because it can push and it can extend well to get me into profit to be able to lock the stop and go from there. Now you can see it, look, up 35, 36, up over 1R now. We're almost at that 800 EMA. I want to show you on the 1 minute too. From when I took my entry, look at this, no pain. This is what you want to see. If it came down and broke the yellow and the red, the 8 and the 21, that'd be the first sign that I might be wrong. But if it holds the 8 EMA here on the 1 minute, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Same thing I look for it to do here on the 15 minute. So this is where I'm at in the trade. We have 5 minutes left until 5 o'clock. We'll see where the 5 o'clock candle puts us. Maybe it bodies the 800. Maybe it gets a little bit closer, and then we'll judge from there. But as soon as I'm up a couple more pips, I'm probably going to take off some profit because we're about 1R, and I'll lock the stop loss as well. And then I'll come back on and update you guys as this thing develops candle by candle. But I appreciate you being here, and I hope that by the end of this video, you really do have a good understanding for what the A1 system is, these breakout entries, and how I'm hitting it almost every single day. And even if you're late, if you know where the stop loss should go, you can size in appropriately and still take advantage because you can read it candle by candle. If it does this, I'm going to do this. If it holds the 8 EMA, I'm going to stay in the trade. You know what I'm saying? When you have repeatable systems, it's very easy, even if you're a few minutes late. So I hope you're finding value. We're up 35 pips. I'll be back in a little bit. As expected, at 5 o'clock, we pushed up and just touched the 800 EMA on the 15 minute. As you can see, I closed half the position. I'm still up 38 pips in the second half, but I had to take the bag. So let me show you why. Here on the 15 minute, like I was saying in that previous clip, the 800 EMA is going to be that first take profit area. Now, of course, it could hold the 8 EMA, the yellow line, and body through the 800 and continue higher. And that's why I still have half the trade in. But because my risk management systems are preset, it's very predefined, on a setup like this, when I'm a little bit late, that does factor into it. I have to lock the stop loss, especially up after I'm up over 1R. So now that I've taken half the trade, put the stop loss in profit, I can't lose any money. If you do this same process behind a winning system over and over again, you will never go red more days than you go blue. And that's the most important thing, is that we survive, we grow our accounts, we can trade bigger, we can make more money. Keep it simple. So again, the A1 breakout, new high a day off the 21, perfect TDI, gives you the take profit target of the 800 EMA. Had I had a perfect entry, you're looking at 68 pips to the top. Still, I got about 42, 43 out of it at best, and now I'm up 31, 33 in the second half of the position. We'll see if it wants to come back a little bit. If it does come back and touch the 8 EMA, it'll take me out, and I'll move on to the next one good trade. But I'm hoping that after doing all these live recaps, it's actually starting to stick with you guys how these patterns are repeatable and how simple they are and how tradable they are if you understand the language that we use to interpret this chart. I know some people will be like, I can't read that. That's crazy. There's indicators there. But if you learn the language, you can apply the language, and language can create new definitions of things that never even existed before. That's the power of language. So for someone to say, I don't use indicators, they don't work, you got to be open-minded, guys. You got to be willing to learn, because I can prove to you how these systems work. Look at all my other videos. Look at the back testing. Look at the live testing. You'll see these patterns every single day. So you just got to know what to look for. But that is the crux, the underlying thesis of this A1 system. The A1s are these breakout trades that come for new high a day, new low a day, off a solid EMA in trend. More times than not, those breakouts, when you can confirm them with the TDI, confirm them with the price action, confirm them with the EMAs, confirm them with the higher time frames, those formations are going to win for you more times than not. That's why I was willing to get in even a few minutes late here. So if you take a look at the 1 minute one more time, look at how since the entry, it never broke the 8 EMA. From when I got in, straight to the top. Never broke the 8 EMA until right now, after I already have 50% of the trade out. Now, it'll still probably hold the 21. It could even hold the 50. I have the 50 right here. It could hold both of those EMAs and still come higher. So I like, I like where the stop is. I like that I'm 50% out, following my risk management rules. That's what I wanted to show you guys here, is that not only are these a technical system where it's like, hey, here's the pattern, trade the pattern, there's also risk management. We're up 1R, take some off, put the stop loss in profit because it's a C setup. If it was an A setup, I'd probably have a little bit more on still, but I don't need to. Snag bag. Right now, the volatility, it's crazy right now. Snag bag, snag bag, snag bag. One good trade at a time. One good trade, one good trade, one good trade.